Hey everybody, we're back. We're on the MSC Seashore again, and I am going to give you a quick tour of our room. And before we do show the room though, I do want to explain that we are a family of four. So we have two teenage girls and my husband and I, and we have a deluxe balcony. And I just wanted to make sure, because one of the things I struggled with when we were trying to book a room is finding a room that showed what it was like with the bunks or the drop downs or whatever to accommodate four people. So before we get all of our luggage in here, I wanted to show you guys exactly what that looks like in these deluxe balcony rooms. Alrighty, we are in room 9230. And this is what our room looks like. Now we just got on board, so the rooms aren't all finished being cleaned technically, but you can go directly to your room when you get here and drop off all of your carry-on items so you don't have to lug them around the ship while you're here. So here is our bathroom. It's not super big by any stretch, but I do like the fact that this one has a glass door. In our interior cabin, I don't believe we had a glass door. We might have, but I honestly don't remember. So you've got some shelving. They do have shampoo, body wash combo, and conditioner if you need it. One of the nice things is the little bar down at the bottom. For those of us who shave our legs, it's really nice and handy to have. And then there's some storage up underneath the sink. And a trash can if you need it. Honestly, we don't use the trash can under the sink. We usually throw our curling irons and stuff in there just because it makes life a lot easier. So we have a king-size bed. We have a closet with shelving and some drawers. Open the closet door over here, and I'll go around and show it to you. And that's probably going to accommodate us pretty good. There is lights next to the nightstands. I believe you can also have this bed split into two twins. And then this is normally a couch, and they switched it up and turned it into bunk beds for us, for the girls. And I have one child who is 5'10", and she fits on these snugly. And then another child who is 5'2", who has absolutely no problem and finds it quite comfortable. But if your kiddo is bigger than about 5'10", they might struggle with these bunk beds. And then we do have a work area and our TV. As far as electrical outlets, we've got the converter outlets. Those are our lights. You've got two regular plugs and two USB-C plugs. There is a wireless charger on the counter so that you can get to that and use it. You've got extra shelving here. The TV does pivot out so that if you're laying in bed, you can see it, or if the kids are in the bunk and want to watch something, they can see it. You've got drawers in the nightstand or desk, and then there is a small table that you can pull out if you need it. It's tucked away because we have the bunk beds, and then a stool to sit at. The mini bar is currently locked, so we'll probably ask them to unlock it and empty it because we don't want anything tempting in there. And then this is our balcony. Now, we did not get the extended balcony, but there is a chair. There's two chairs. And a stool. And then the glass railing. And we are just above one of the walkways. And that is a tour of our room, our deluxe balcony room 923 with bunk beds in place. Once we get all settled in, I'll show you guys how we put together the room for use for us, because we bring things like magnetic hooks and other stuff to help us organize. And MSC is a little different than a lot of the cruise lines in that the walls aren't all magnetic. You can't use the walls for your hooks like you would on a Carnival or Royal Caribbean, but there are places you can still put the hooks, and I will show you where all of that gets done so that we can keep track of lanyards and purses and towels and whatever else we want to. So until I see you later, have a great day. Okay, as promised, we are now completely unpacked in our cabin, and I'm going to show you some of the tricks and things that we have done over the years and learned have been very helpful when you're trying to put 4 people in one cabin. So the biggest thing for us is hooks. Hooks save the day for us because there's only so much room for towels in a bathroom and swimsuits and things of that nature. So I set up stations. So this would be where my husband and I are, because there are separate towels for the pool versus for in your room. So we hang up our 2 pool towels, and there's where we would hang up our swimsuits. I give child number 1 their own station for their swimsuits and their towels. And these hooks are great. They're just magnetic. They stick right on. Some cabins I have found with MSC don't stick on the wall. When that's the case, I simply stick them up here on the ceiling. But most of the time, they'll stick on the wall. And at Carnival and Royal Caribbean and Princess, I have never had a problem with them not sticking to the walls. So then I come over here and I also set up child number 2. And as you can see by the missing towels, they're already at the pool. The shelves in here, I put their water bottles so they can get them refilled, do what they need to. Over here, they also have shelves in the cubbies. I tend to not use these because I forget things are there when I go to pack later, but it is extra storage if you need it. But right now I use this little cubby area for my boot because I fractured my foot right before we left for this cruise. The girls will sometimes put hooks up in their cubbies so they can hang their jewelry and things like that. Otherwise, I put their bags in there for them. There is some space here where the curtain is, but I tend to not use it again because I forget things are there and I don't get them packed when we go to leave. We usually pack the children in the drawers that are in the vanity, partly because it separates us from them, but also because I have 2 teenage girls, and if anybody's going to be sitting in front of the mirror doing their makeup, it's going to be the 2 of them. So it's easier just to say, put your bags on the shelf, and when you're done doing your makeup, put it away and put it back on the shelf. It's also where we tend to keep all of our sunscreen for the trip. And then I'm sure everybody wants to know, how do you put 4 people in a single closet? You use every single inch. As you can see, I have used every inch of this for clothes, and this is for just my husband and I. Yes, I admit I am an overpacker. And then the drawers. I will say there is less storage in the bigger cabin than there was in our smaller interior cabin. And then we fill the closet here. Now what I tend to do is I'll use this top section for dirty laundry, and as we get enough, I'll fill our compression bags up, zip them down, And then when it's time to pack and leave, I just throw the compression bag right into the suitcase. It's already done. I don't have to fiddle with it. Some other things that we do is we keep all of our lanyards hung right here so that we can grab them as we're going out. Small purses, if we need them. I will hang my wraps next to the door. I tend to not use the hooks with my wraps because they can sometimes puncture clothing. Just kind of a fair warning. We use hanging bags for all of our toiletries. And when you're talking about 3 women, my husband will tell you that toiletries and jewelry take up a ton of space. And then the shelves actually come in real handy for all of our stuff. It fits fine. And then, like I said, we use the drawer down here for all of our blow dryers, curling irons, things of that nature. So that is how I put 4 people into a single cabin without 70 million things all over the floor. Oh, and just a side note, suitcases go under the bed.